The wacky world of MultimediaJay.
This seems awfully familiar. I really need to stop ending up just blankly staring at a wall when I get home from being depressed and stuff. I stayed late after work today to help out with the pick because of an increase in volume, and was very brutally reminded of the kind of dystopian warehouse environment that I do not want to be responsible for creating or administering. An environment where people are beaten over the head to achieve selection goals and other speed and accuracy quality goals that aren't actually achievable. But that's another discussion for another day. I think we have more technical fish to fry. There you go, Doctor. I got my exercise today. Hope you're happy. Whatever. So I flipped the computer into power save mode and left it running all day today to run check disk CFRs or check disk FRs on all the drives after last night's little fiasco. So, I think the root cause of what's going on with this machine taking forever to boot and drives randomly not working is bad SATA cables. Cables that have gone loose or intermittent. I found over the years that serial ATA cables just aren't as reliable as the rounded EIDE cables of years gone by. Of course, smaller, flimsier connectors, what do you expect? So, I totally guessed correctly, but I placed an order last night for some new cables and serial ATA cables from Monoprice. But this is Rancho Cucamonga, California we're talking about here. It's going to take the better part of the week to get that stuff across the country. So maybe I'll have those cables for the weekend. The plan is to gut the silver bullet and dig up whatever SATA cables I can by whatever means are necessary to get some better plastic inside this system and hopefully get the drives back to the way to working again. In terms of what I lost, it's mostly drives like game installs and stuff that can come back from the cloud or installation media anyways. The data array came through this A-OK. So what I'm doing is one of the last drives with bad sectors on it was the SSD backup, which is the laptop drive that just backs up the saved images of the SSD. I don't really need to copy the image over, but I'm doing it anyways. We'll see if it copies over, if the bad sectors screw it all up. Otherwise, we'll just reformat the drive and make a new image to start the backup file over again. All this because of some crappy-ass cables. Fortunately, this is all happening on trash day, so we can start this out with... Alright, so culprit number one, the mustard cable with the plug that wouldn't click. It was too loose. This is the one that was going to the old games drive. It may be that the drive wasn't the problem, it's just this thing went intermittent at the wrong time and some data got corrupted. Whatever. And then we have this little thing, a Monoprice cable. This is one of those snazzy 90-degree cables, and you can see where it's not disconnecting just yet, but this thing's been bent too many times, so... focus it a bit there. You can see the connectors underneath. It was just a matter of time before something shorted, and yeah. So I'm getting the not-so-snazzy ones from Monoprice, but I'm pretty appalled that older SATA cables from 2005 are holding up better than these newer ones that I just got a couple of months ago. Yeah, so the drive has been... So the drive was cleared off, it was check-disked, and it was reformatted. It all checks out now. I'm forgetting, though, how long it takes these giant image files to copy over. This isn't slow. 80 megs a second is a good sequential read speed for the little tiny hard drive, the laptop drive that I was using for this. Nope. I better make better use of my time if this isn't going to be a really short video, because I just get some stuff done and it's time for bed. Whatever. First off, how about some better lighting? Sorry, drunken punk. Inside joke. So first and foremost, the silver bullet is going to get field stripped. What is this, a gun? We're going to pull out all the SATA cables because we're not using the silver bullet right now, so we can cover our losses, so to speak. And then this is pretty much a generic parts bin at this point. So yeah, cables like this is SATA 1 from 2005, but if it's sturdy enough on the copper side, then let's use it. See if we get like a speed penalty or something. I don't need the fastest system in the world with these SSDs right now. I just need them usable. Oh yeah, and helps to turn on the power. Maybe I should turn off the other fan as well. Yeah, that is very good. That is more than enough cables. So, I don't know, I guess back in the day, I think these are from my 2005 system. Once upon a time when you bought a motherboard with serial ATA in it, they gave you so many SATA cables because they assumed you were going to fill the whole system up with drives. You don't really see that much anymore. So I have a lot of these catch-up cables from the 05 system. This cable is actually labeled for SATA 3 and it has clamps. So this will work. I also have a baby blue one with clamps. That one will work as well. Also have another SATA cable. Just the cables with clamps are enough to get rid of the cables that don't have clamps and retire them. So here's another one that has clamps and a little bit more give, so to speak, more like real wires on the edge. And there actually was, there we go, one with a label on it. There actually was one of these red catch-up cables that actually has clamps. I want all the drives to have working clamps on both ends. The only thing that should have no clamp would be an optical drive. We can't risk any more loose connections fouling up drives. Speaking of drives... Okay, moment of truth time. Although it will start back up, it'll just take an extremely long time to start back up. Moment of truth? More like... moment of destruction! Okay, there's our culprits right there. Glitzy and Ritzy, but unfortunately too prone to damage if they get bent or twisted compared to some of the other SATA cables I've had over the years. That's what I get for buying cables based on looks over practicality, whatever. And I'm also curious if I can replace some of these catch-up cables with ones that actually have clamps. That would be something, wouldn't it? I think I might be short on cables for that though. 1, 2, oh no, I've got just enough. Well now, let's make this happen, shall we? Once more into the whatever. Okay, the first order of business is to not be a lazy ass. It would be easy to just try and get the cables to go in without unhooking anything, but that's how we ended up in this situation. So let's unhook everything once again, video card, the whole 9 yards, and get everything right, and not try to jam things into corners. Because it's fun when things work on the first try. Am I right? Right, that looks interesting. So this is all wired in, no more cables and whatnot. So the baby blue one is actually rated for 6 gigs per second, so that was a no-brainer. Got that one right there. The red one can go to the mechanical drive, and then we've got these two actually former main SSD cables. I don't like how this one looks though, but we'll see what it does. It's a lot more flexible as far as the insulation goes than some of the other ones we've messed with. So let's put everything back together and see what happens. A normal boot time! What is this sorcery? And what is this? The game's SSD is back! It's all here, though for completeness' sake I will do a check disk FR on it. Look, World of Warcraft! Woohoo! Yes. Now for the games drive. The games drive is down to 750 gigs, so I gotta check and see if there's a way to make this any bigger, but no, we got a bit of a drop there. I have an old WD Green from 2012 that I was using for the DVR at the Cable Nightmare job. It has seen very little action since then, so it's practically mint. There isn't even any dust on it. It has seen extremely few power cycles or other forms of mechanical wear and tear, so we'll use this, and despite being a WD green, the sequential transfer rate is on par with the rest of the mechanical drives. Actually, the newer ones, like H, 130 megs a second, still slower than an SSD, but it's quick enough that we can put some games on there and try it out at the very least. We'll see how it goes in terms of load times and other assorted stuff. Oh look, the SSD backup is all set as well. So, we shall soon have a fully operational, maxed out Tuxedo machine. Matter of fact, I don't know if I even want to install the cables that I ordered from Monoprice. If these are going to work just fine, let's just save the other ones and be one ahead for building Monolith or something. Yeah, have that be my first purchase of parts for Monolith. Oh yeah. So, I think I'm going to stay one ahead when the Monoprice cables come in case these cables conk out. And we will save the possible resurrection of the games drive and salvaging what's on it for another day. For now, though, we celebrate. Booyah! Until next time, this is MultimediaJay, signing off. Thanks for stopping by.